DraftKings gives the Celtics a win total of 51.5 for this upcoming season. The Lakers have a win total of 45.5. Both teams have gone over their projected win totals in every season under Joe Mazzulla and under J.J. Redick. But it begs the question, Marc, which team do you think is more likely to exceed those expectations? Is it Boston or is it Los Angeles?
I think it's Los Angeles because the expectations aren't as high. I think the Celtics believe if you make a big move like Jaylen Brown, you better live up to expectations. And I think they believe that Derek White could be this guy to go from 16 points a game to 20. Now, Paul George, he's an X factor. He averaged 21 points after the All-Star break. Can Paul be kind of near what he is? I think maybe they're banking on that as well. But I think if you're going to trade Jaylen, you better be great.
Yeah, that's why I think this is about the Celtics. Like the Lakers, I just have a lot more questions about them. Defensively, with those guards, are they going to be able to hold up defensively? Where to begin from Walker Kessler, a guy we did not see a lot of, did not play a single meaningful minute of basketball. But with Boston, like you said, they went and moved on from Jaylen Brown. And we saw what they did with just Jaylen Brown and no Tatum last year. Mazzulla's going to have them ready for the regular season.
Yeah.
I'm with you on Derek White. Atrocious shooting last season, shooting about 32% from three. He's got to make some of those, only 36% wide open. He's got to play a little
bit better. Those analytic guys better be right.
Right. They better be. And I think Boston has a lot to prove, but I do think that they have sort of the infrastructure to do what they need to do.
I don't know which team is going to be better. I can say both of them have a player that's in a similar stage of their career that will be looking to make, a bigger impact on the offense. Peyton Pritchard for the Celtics and Austin Reeves for the Lakers. Both of those guys, the franchises look at them as having the opportunity to take a step up in the pecking order with more touches. They could produce even more. And we saw a little bit the start of last season for Austin Reeves. Remember that 50-point game he had, that game winner he had in Minnesota. The Lakers started off 10-4 without LeBron James, with Luka and Austin playing those roles. And obviously Peyton Pritchard, a former Sixth Man of the Year, a guy who is instant offense off the bench. We'll see with a bigger role if he can continue to keep that production level up.
I see both of these teams as having actually fairly similar paths. They're both going to be fighting to be sort of in that top six, maybe in danger of falling out of that top six in the league. You don't think the Boston Celtics could be higher than that?
I think the Boston Celtics have a good shot at having home court advantage in the first round. They could be a top 4 seed, especially what Mazzulla does in the regular season with this squad.
Yeah, I know. Mazzulla, he's so imaginative in how he's able to use these lineups. I'm interested to see. Oh, the NBA offseason. It rolls on. So let's check in on what's happening around the league with a little coast to coast. We're going to start right here in Los Angeles because Trae Young was cooking in the Drew League this weekend. He put up a 25-point triple-double, Dave. So are you expecting those types of stat lines with the Wizards?
Listen, it's been 5 years since he's been in the conference finals, but 3 times since then, he's averaged 25-plus points and 10-plus assists per game. I think he's been a little bit slept on. He got that big extension from the Wizards without having played many games to them yet. With A.J. DeBonsta and Anthony Davis, they can make some noise in the East.
5 years. That just took me out right there. All right, so Russ turns 38 this November, DDJ. What's the best-case scenario for him?
I think the best-case scenario for him is to be sort of a mentor to some of these young guards. Look at all of these guards that came in this year and the last couple of years. Like, this is part of Russell Westbrook's legacy, is showing what you can do as a guard. These dudes look up to him, kind of like Chris Paul did with OKC and San Antonio. I want to see him do something like that.
Well, Mr. Spears, you recently reported that Ben Simmons has been working out down under in Australia and would like to make an NBA comeback. So where do things stand there?
Well, he does have an offer from a West team to come to training camp, non-guaranteed offer. I think he's hoping if he plays well in this camp with coaches like Kay Porn from the Wizards and other people with NBA ties at this camp, that perhaps it could lead to something else. Has a couple other teams that are interested, so I think maybe he'll have an option soon that he really likes.
What was that hand gesture? That was like 6'7".
That too.
We'll see whether or not Ben Simmons will see him make a comeback here. And then there's James Harden, right? He remains the biggest name that's still unsigned in free agency. He did decline his $42 million player option this summer, but he is expected to work out a multi-year deal with the Cavaliers. This is all according to our Shams Charania, but I think a lot of us expected once LeBron James made his decision that we were going to see that deal come to fruition. So at this point, Mr. Spears, what's the holdup?
Well, I'm hearing that the Cavaliers are working through different iterations of a deal, trying to come up with something that's best for James and also best for them. And to James' credit, they're saying that he's been patient. His people has been patient, and I hear that they expect a resolution to come soon. for him to resign and be back in Cleveland.
But as you said, we've talked about how much the East has gotten better, right? I think all of us can agree with that. So you cover the Cavaliers closely, Dave. If James Harden, or actually it's when James Harden resigns, are they considered in that upper echelon of East contenders?
I mean, they made the Eastern Conference Finals last year. They were one of the final 4 teams standing. They haven't done much to adjust their roster, though. Since they lost Dean Wade, obviously, they missed out on LeBron. We all are aware of that. I'm told, though, that they are a, quote, serious candidate to land Peyton Watson.
Interesting.
And so there's other teams that have interested in Watson as well, but they are a serious candidate.
Yeah, the Peyton Watson thing raises the ceiling on this Cavs thing tremendously for me. I'm really high on Peyton Watson. Like, I think about that stretch last year when Jokic was out. He averaged 22 points a game. He was taking on the best guys defensively. He can be a real defensive stalwart with that Cavs team. Like, I know they made the conference finals, but it's weird to say they were a conference finals team that were not really a conference finals team. That felt like fool's gold for them. They need to improve, and I think Peyton Watson can do a lot to help them this season.
And I was doing I did the diary with Donovan Mitchell last season, and one of the lasting things he said to me was like, we didn't have enough time with James Harden. People got to remember that was a mid-season acquisition.
Yeah.
He feels like having him in training camp, figuring him out. He said they weren't even close to figuring out how to play with him just yet, but he felt like in training camp next season, it'll be much better.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the numbers, right, including the regular season and playoffs, James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, they played just over 400 minutes together last season, and most of that, Dave, was just in the postseason.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, listen, Harden had some good moments against Detroit. He had some bad moments against Detroit. The entire team, they were up 24 points in the second half. We all remember game 1 against the Knicks. Yeah. Maybe if they hold on to that, it's a different type of series.
When those 2 game 6s, they're not as fatigued either. So.
Sure.
Very good point. But what they need to happen, though, is to bring in more talent.
Yeah.
Because look at what the other teams have done in the East. They've gotten better, and they've basically stayed stagnant, if not taken a step back.
And Peyton Watson would be a step towards that, but maybe not the talent that we were all thinking that the Cavaliers could land this offseason.
NBA,